11 News starts with breaking news.
Breaking out for the first time in more than 3 weeks, restaurants can serve lunch indoors after COVID restrictions expire. Other businesses shut down before Christmas can also reopen again. The state health secretary is holding a news conference right now and says just because some restrictions were lifted does not mean anything has changed as far as the surge in cases.
Now, the mitigation orders that the governor put in place for over the holidays expire this morning. But there is still a stay-at-home advisory in place for all of Pennsylvania. Masking orders that were in place prior to December 12th remain in place. We cannot let our guard down. We must continue to follow and to demonstrate our personal and collective responsibility to each other.
In the past hour, the Allegheny County Health Department released its update on COVID cases, reporting 852 new cases since Saturday. That's a two-day total, much lower than we've been used to seeing. Health officials are attributing the relatively low number of new cases to limited availability of testing last week. They expect other higher than normal numbers tomorrow due to testing delays. The health department has also learned of 5 additional deaths from before Christmas. Back to business again. Some restrictions, as we mentioned, have been lifted for restaurants and other businesses. COVID rules were put back into place 3 weeks ago over fears of another surge in cases over the holidays, and they expired this morning. Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond has more on what restaurants still can't do.
Governor Wolf's latest restrictions expired at 8:01 on January 4th. That means restaurant doors opened up for customers again to enjoy indoor dining, but this, not what they were hoping for. Ritter's in Bloomfield welcomed in a handful of regulars Monday morning. The diner's been in business since 1951. A similar site over at another Pittsburgh staple, Pamela's in the Strip District. Only a few people stopped by shortly after the doors opened here.
For the most part, it's like takeouts only, and then if it's like kind of nice outside, we'll have people sitting outside, and that's cool. But during the day, whenever it's like the whole restaurant's empty, it doesn't really seem like anything's gonna change.
Indoor dining is still capped at 50%. That is, if restaurants fill out an online certification. It's basically a form that says they'll follow all COVID-19 guidelines set forth by the state, city, or county. If they don't complete this, they'll be limited to 25% capacity. Alcohol still can't be served without food, and alcohol sales must stop at 11 p.m.
We just all have to do our part as well, making sure we're social distancing, wearing masks, being mindful, and actually even cleaning up a little bit more after ourselves when we're dining out.
Now here's a look at what else is allowed to reopen. Entertainment venues such as casinos, theaters, and museums. But they are limited to 50% indoor capacity. Gyms, fitness centers, and spas can open back up. They're also limited to 50% capacity. While we were at Ritter's this morning, we met a woman who says she hasn't worked since March. Tonight at 5, hear her story about why she decided she just had to be here when these doors first opened Monday morning. Reporting in Bloomfield, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
Breaking out, 2 state senators are renewing their push to suspend evictions and foreclosures. The state senators from Philadelphia are calling on lawmakers to extend the moratorium for 60 days in Pennsylvania. Right now, the federal moratorium is set to expire at the end of the month.
Keeping people in their homes during an emergency should be considered a baseline obligation of government. The health of our society is inextricably linked with healthy housing.
More than 240,000 Pennsylvanians are at risk of losing their homes at the end of this month. People will soon start getting that all-important second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. The goal was to get the first dose into the arms of 20 million people by the end of 2020. To date, only about 4 million have been vaccinated.
We have to understand that this virus also occurred in the midst of a surge, and a lot of the local capacity to be able to vaccinate was being used for testing and responding to surges. Have hope vaccines are coming.
A third vaccine is now out in the United Kingdom. The first person in the world got the Oxford University AstraZeneca vaccine this morning. The 82-year-old dialysis patient was the first to get the shot. Britain's National Health Service was also the first to start using the vaccine made by Pfizer and BioNTech. The Oxford's AstraZeneca vaccine is cheaper and easier to use since it does not require the super cold storage needed by the Pfizer vaccine, but it probably won't be approved for use in the U.S. until the spring. The Allegheny County Health Department is ramping up efforts to test for COVID-19. This week, they're hosting free mobile clinics at locations across the county. You may want to keep an eye out for this purple van. The health department is providing free testing through community partners and Curative. That van is in Tarentum today. It's heading to Dalton's Edge Apartments right now and will be ready to test people starting at 1 this afternoon through 4 o'clock. Pre-registration is preferred, but walk-ins are welcome. The van will also be at other locations throughout the week. We have more information on where you can get tested, along with resources on renters relief and unemployment. That's up right now on the WPXI News app.
I only need 11,000 votes. Fellas, I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break.
President Donald Trump on the record calling on Georgia's election chief to overturn Joe Biden's win. In a tweet this morning, the president claimed that we will see what he called the real numbers tonight at a rally in Georgia. NBC's Tracy Potts has more on the president's bold bid to pressure the Georgia Secretary of State to find more votes.
NBC News obtained this recording of President Trump calling Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, begging him to change election results.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state. I only need 11,000 votes. Fellas, I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break. There's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
The president pressures Raffensperger for an hour, even suggesting that not changing the numbers could be illegal.
That's a criminal offense. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan, your lawyer. That's a big risk.
Democrats are condemning the president.
I actually wasn't surprised by this call. The president has shown us a long, long time ago who he is.
No reaction yet from the White House or the Trump campaign. The president tweeted that Raffensperger was unwilling or unable to answer questions about this. The secretary responded, "The truth will come out." On Capitol Hill, a dozen Republicans are preparing to challenge the Electoral College results, and they're facing backlash from their own party.
It's not an effort that I'm going to support.
The new Congress is scheduled to certify those results Wednesday. President Trump says he'll talk more about that phone call tonight in Georgia. He's headed there for a rally to support the two Republicans in runoffs tomorrow that could determine the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. Tracy Potts, NBC News.
A teenager shot in North Braddock is expected to be okay. The 17-year-old was shot yesterday afternoon. He was found at the intersection of Baldridge and Jones Avenues. No word yet on any arrests. Anyone with information is asked to call police. The man charged with shooting a McKeesport police officer is expected to be brought back from West Virginia to face charges. An extradition hearing is set for today for Kobe Francis. He was found hiding inside a Clarksburg apartment last week after 9 days on the run. Police say the security video shows Francis getting out of the back of a police SUV and shooting Officer Jerry Athens. He then runs away in handcuffs. Francis was originally arrested for defying a protection from abuse order. Officer Athens was hit in the neck and twice in the shoulder. He is expected to make a full recovery. State flags are flying at half-staff after the death of a local state representative, Mike Reese. He died Saturday from a brain aneurysm. His colleagues described him as a hardworking family man. Reese leaves behind a wife and 3 children. He represented parts of Westmoreland and Somerset counties since 2009. Pittsburgh police are looking for this white pickup truck. They say an explosive device may have been thrown from the truck before it exploded in Lawrenceville. Neighbors said they felt their home shake when that bomb went off, and new at noon. We know the FBI is helping in this investigation. Pittsburgh Fire, Police, and the bomb squad were called to Penn Avenue in Lawrenceville just after 9 last night. They say someone threw an IED from that pickup truck. No one was hurt. A parked car was damaged when the device went off. About an hour and a half later, police were called to Dinwiddie Street in the Hill District for another possible explosion. The bomb squad moved in and shut the area down, and police are now working to review surveillance video there as well. At last check, there are no suspects and no arrests, and police say it's still too soon to tell if the incidents are connected. Breaking news in the last half hour, the NCAA announced this year's 67 men's basketball tournament games, including the Final Four, will all be played in Indiana. Championship weekend is still scheduled for April 3rd and April 5th. Preliminary round dates have not yet been determined. The NCAA also will partner with a health provider to administer COVID-19 testing for players, coaches, school administrators, and officials. Well, lots of clouds today and for a few days here. Temperatures right around normal. Let's head over to meteorologist Scott Harbaugh with a look at the forecast. Scott?
Yeah, typical January, Gordon. A lot of cloud cover, a couple of flurries, little patches of drizzle and storm tracker Doppler 11 radar, but nothing that's going to amount to much of anything during the course of the afternoon. Notice in the Pittsburgh area, a couple pops of some flurries, and again, there's been some light drizzle from time to time as well. Temperatures have basically gone nowhere all day today. We're only up a degree in Pittsburgh from 6 o'clock this morning. 35 right now, 35 in Butler. In Greensburg, 36 degrees. If you want to get the kids outside just to burn off some energy, heavier jacket today. Temperatures in the mid-30s, and other than a sprinkle or a flurry, most of the day will be dry. Several little waves coming through. I'm tracking the best chance to see some snow showers overnight tonight and into the day tomorrow. I'll have those locations with an updated storm tracker coming up in minutes.
The Steelers kick off the playoffs on Sunday right here on Channel 11, and for the second week in a row, they will take on the Browns. This time, the game will be played at Heinz Field, a primetime game with kickoff at 8:15 Sunday night. Channel 11 will have special coverage all week, including before and after the big game. And things are going to look a lot different than yesterday. The Steelers arrested their big players yesterday in the 24-22 loss. After the game, the guys said they are ready for the rematch.
You know, we're going to use those as a learning lesson. We're going to evaluate the tape and go from there. All of us get more reps. It'll just continue to help us build as a team, and we got film to look at and correct, and, you know, we're ready to get back to work.
The Browns ended the longest playoff drought in the NFL. The last time they were in the playoffs was 18 years ago when they lost to the Steelers. A somber week on Jeopardy. Alex Trebek's final episodes will air. The heartfelt message from Trebek no one expected. Millions of Americans are waiting on a new wave of COVID relief, but round two is different. Why the feds have to move fast to get you your stimulus check. And we're learning new information on how online crooks are going after your money by hacking banking apps. The steps you can take to stop them. If you're headed for the Turnpike today, it's going to cost you a little more. Rate hikes went into effect yesterday. Easy Pass users have to pay 6% more, and if you use toll by plate, rates are up 45% at most plazas. The Turnpike Commission says the toll increase pays for maintaining and operating its system. If you haven't gotten your second stimulus check, you're not alone. Millions of Americans are in the same boat. But this time, there's a cutoff date for the IRS. Your payment should go out by January 15th. That's the end of next week. If you don't get yours by then, CNET says you'll have to claim the missing money when you file your federal tax returns this year. You're less likely to have an issue if you use direct deposit. If the IRS doesn't have that information on file, they'll send you a check in the mail or a prepaid debit card. A warning from FBI agents here in Pittsburgh. Thieves are going after people doing their banking online, and they're focusing on smartphone apps. Channel 11's Mike Holden spoke with the FBI about what not to do.
Cyber criminals are targeting your most personal information, but this time they're going after your online banking information. The FBI is sounding an alarm, and they want you to be extra cautious, especially when you're using banking apps on your smartphone. The FBI is sending out a strong warning this afternoon. Increased use of mobile banking apps could lead to exploitation. Mobile banking has surged by 50% in 2020 because it's so much more convenient. Plus, most bank branches are no longer doing walk-in transactions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The FBI expects crooks to try to exploit customers using app-based spyware, Trojans, and fake apps in general. In some instances, the suspect will duplicate the app and steal your information. In others, they'll create bogus apps that look just like the real deal and cash in big time. The FBI suggests only downloading verified apps from the official App Store or using banking websites. In addition, use that two-factor authentication, like a password plus a security question and a backup phone number as well. And finally, create strong passwords with a mix of capital letters and symbols that can't easily be traced.
You really have to be very conscious what you're looking at and what you're about to click on, what information you're about to give. People trust too much of what they're seeing on the screen.
So what is the biggest mistake we continue to make time and time again? I'm breaking down that part of the story for Channel 11 News at 5, plus ways to report an issue. Reporting this afternoon, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
T-Mobile says it was the victim of a security breach last month that may have exposed some customers' call records. The company says the information did not include customers' names, physical or email addresses, credit card or social security numbers, passwords, or PINs. T-Mobile says it's notified about 200,000 people who may have been affected. Longtime Jeopardy host Alex Trebek starred in more than 8,000 episodes of the game show over 36 years. And this week, beginning tonight, Trebek's final 5 episodes will air. NBC's Ann Thompson spoke with the executive producer of Jeopardy, who filmed with Trebek in the days leading up to his death.
Here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Almost 2 months after his death, this week Jeopardy fans will see Alex Trebek's last episode, starting with a heartfelt message from Trebek no one expected, even his executive producer, Mike Richards.
He comes out and gives this I just got chills, gives this absolutely amazing speech about the tough times that we're in and the importance of us as a country, as a community, humanity coming together and being there for each other.
The taping happening just 11 days after intestinal surgery. Trebek battled pancreatic cancer for almost 2 years.
The prognosis for this is not very encouraging, but I'm going to fight this.
The treatment sometimes weakened Trebek's voice.
There are many reasons to be thankful.
But not his resolve.
Keep the faith.
That courage and determination only burnishing the admiration of fans and contestants.
I learned English because of you.
What is, we love you out. That's very kind. Thank you.
A connection developed over 3 decades of hosting the quiz show, where contestants tried to guess the questions after Trebek supplied the answers.
What is a metal kettle?
And the occasional barb.
We were talking about hockey, not the NBA.
Welcome to Celebrity Jeopardy!
Which made him ripe for parody on Saturday Night Live. Through 36 years of hairstyles and suits, Trebek's professional demeanor endured.
And thank you for watching.
So much so that when he walked out of the studio after taping these episodes, no one knew they would be his last. Trebek died 10 days later. This week, one more time, America welcomes Alex Trebek into their homes.
That was Ann Thompson reporting. The Friday episode will include a tribute to Trebek, and then the show looks forward, offering up a series of guest hosts, starting with Jeopardy champion Ken Jennings. You can watch it every night right here on Channel 11 at 7 o'clock.
Your severe winter Team 11 forecast.
Certainly not the best stretch of days we've put together around here, and another cloudy one this afternoon. Live look at our PennDOT cameras right now. Route 28 Etna, it is all gray skies, and it's not just gray skies. It's low-hanging cloud cover that has reduced visibility in a couple of spots. Factor that in with some drizzle and some flurries. Just not a very pretty day. Storm tracker, Doppler 11 radar, putting this in motion for you. This is really just meandering across the area. There's nothing overly organized falling this afternoon. Certainly nothing heavy, so not worried about any sort of travel issues during the day today. The exception would be tonight. Once the sun sets, a couple areas dip into the upper 20s tonight. Could have a spot or two where we do see maybe an icy patch, especially toward the mountains and up toward I-80. Visible satellite cloud cover, very thick. A couple breaks trying to come across the northern panhandle of West Virginia. So you folks in Morgantown, maybe down towards Waynesburg, could pick up a little peak of sunshine. If you do get some this afternoon, consider yourself lucky, because sun will be at a premium the next couple days. Suncast over the next 4 days. Max sunshine this time of the year would be about 9 hours and 24 minutes if we were to go blue skies from sunrise to sunset. We are nowhere near there this week, and we won't be the rest of the week. There is some glimmer of hope on Thursday that we at least get some sunshine mixing in with the cloud cover. Check back with Chief Meteorologist Stephen Cropper tonight at 5 and 6 as he has updated forecasts on where we'll see those breaks in the overcast and when we'll see that spotty rain and snow. 33 in Franklin right now, 33 in Clarion. To get a fresh 1 to 3 inches of snow up in this area yesterday afternoon and last night. Kittanning right now, 35, Pittsburgh 35, and Waynesburg currently at 37 degrees. Rest of the afternoon, bundle up when you're taking the dogs out. Temperatures only in the mid-30s. Tonight we'll drop to 29, flurries and some patchy freezing drizzle, especially north and east of Pittsburgh, but even in the Pittsburgh area, with the temperature down to 29, there could be some freezing drizzle, albeit very light. Tomorrow, cloudy, chilly, couple light snow showers. Notice storm tracker, fairly quiet tomorrow morning with the clouds. Then we start to get a couple flurries kicking in during the afternoon, especially east toward the Laurel Highlands. But everyone could pick up a flurry or a light snow shower tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. Best times to get outside, probably Wednesday and Thursday. Those are going to be the two driest days over the course of the next 4 days. 5-day forecast with your weekend always in view. We will warm up a tick or two on Thursday. Still lots of clouds, though. Then Friday, sun begins to break out a little bit, and I do mean just a little bit. Weekend right now looks dry, but unfortunately, it's going to be chilly. 35 Saturday and Sunday with overnight lows in the 20s. Best chance of sunshine during the day on Saturday.
We were amazed and excited. It's so rare.
Local high school students discover their classmate has a rare gift. How it's being used to teach an important lesson. First, how a local bowling alley is trying to stay a step ahead of coronavirus. A new program is helping to create meaningful relationships for senior citizens who might be feeling lonely. It's known as the Friendly Callers. Volunteers call a homebound senior at least once a week and more if they want. Bonnie Lewis created it after seeing so much loneliness among homebound seniors who were sometimes going weeks without human contact.
She was my sanity. I knew I could count on a call every day, and it always seemed to come when I needed it the most. And it was just nice to hear another human voice, and especially for it to be Danelle, because I trust her.
Experts say seniors who stay socially connected have better physical and mental health. A local bowling alley has a new tool to keep everything as clean as possible. Reynolds Bowling Lanes in Transfer, Mercer County, invested in the iWave air purification system. The company says it filters the air and kills 99% of germs, including COVID. The owner says that he used his stimulus money to help pay them.
He's always been good to us, but this is just over the top.
Over the top, what a local restaurant owner is doing to help his workers.
We become a family, so you kind of support your family through the good and the bad.
A local restaurant owner helping his family and doing the unthinkable, according to his employees. At a time when everyone is struggling, Channel 11 Shelley Bortz learned he is putting the needs of his staff before his own.
Just when you get comfortable with wearing a mask and seeing people again, they shut you down, and especially around Christmas. Christmas was our biggest moneymaker.
It's like a roller coaster ride in the most depressing theme park in the world. No one willingly got on, but were strapped in until it stops. Outside of frontline healthcare workers, few have seen the impacts of the coronavirus pandemic quite like the service industry.
$2.83 an hour, no one's living on that. So our livelihood is tips.
Kelly Mady has worked at Luciano's for 3 decades. She's been a regular presence in this restaurant, waiting tables, pouring beers, running food, and talking to patrons. But since March, Mady says it's been a struggle emotionally and financially for the staff at Luciano's.
We've become family, so you kind of support your family through the good and the bad.
And that's exactly what owner Dan Pasquarelli is doing, being the rock when his family needs him most.
On Tuesday for our grand reopening, being our spaghetti special day, one of our busiest days, anything that we bring in for dine-in sales, he's donating back to us servers.
When Pasquarelli told Mady of his plans, she said her first reaction was disbelief.
I thought he was joking. Because I thought there's no way someone could be this generous to do this for us. But I was floored. I mean, it's something he doesn't have to do at all. And out of the goodness of his heart, he's doing it. He's always been good to us, but this is just over the top.
Mady says because of Pasquarelli's act of kindness, she and the staff have decided to pay it forward by donating 1% of their sales to the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank.
We all agreed that we're not only the ones hurting.
Shelley Bortz, Channel 11 News.
The owner of the White Oak restaurant told Shelley that his servers are suffering the most and he wants them to know how much he appreciates them. Casinos are back in business today. Live Casino Pittsburgh at the Westmoreland Mall opened their doors 1 minute after the governor's 3-week order expired this morning. The Rivers Casinos on the North Shore is also back open with all the COVID protocols in place. The impact the pandemic is having on the casinos remains to be seen. The industry rebounded nicely in the first 5 months of the current fiscal year. Total tax revenue was up more than $30 million. But then Governor Wolf issued that second shutdown order. Today, class is back in session for a school district across southwestern PA. Most will be learning from home, including the Pittsburgh Public Schools. Last week, school leaders extended virtual learning until the end of the semester. Plans are being finalized to bring students back into the building at the end of the month. It will most likely be some form of hybrid learning. Well, another cloudy, pretty gloomy day out there, but a break from the rain. Meteorologist Scott Harbaugh has the forecast now in Severe Weather Center 11. Scott?
Those gray skies fairly consistent over the last couple of days, and we're not going to change that anytime soon. Here's Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar. A couple flurries showing up right now. There are some patches of drizzle with this as well, and it's kind of a cold drizzle with temperatures right now only in the mid-30s. We're going to see this off and on throughout the day today and into the night tonight. It is providing a little bit of reduced visibility. Notice the areas of some brighter white 3-mile visibility. Somerset visibility in Washington right now only a couple miles as well. 36, we're only going up 1 more degree today. Lots of clouds around those flurries and that drizzle. I am updating Storm Tracker right now to pinpoint which areas are most likely to see some snow showers for the day tomorrow. I'll have that for you coming up this half hour.
I only need 11,000 votes. Fellas, I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break.
Members of Congress, are reacting to that phone call over the weekend where President Trump pressured the Republican Georgia Secretary of State to find votes. So far, Republicans have largely remained silent about the call. But as our Jacqueline Fell explains, many Democrats are calling for a criminal investigation into the president's conduct.
Democrats and a handful of Republicans condemned the phone call between President Trump and Georgia's Secretary of State. The president repeatedly pressured the official to overturn the state's election results.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is 1 more than we have.
The Secretary of State is a Republican and a Trump supporter. He resisted pressure from the president, telling him his data is wrong. At least one Democrat is urging a criminal investigation, saying the call could be another impeachable offense. Congress will meet to certify Joe Biden's victory later this week. A growing number of House and Senate Republicans say they'll challenge that certification. Illinois Republican Adam Kanzinger questions that move after this phone call.
I don't know how you can do that right now with a clear conscience, because this is so obviously beyond the pale is probably not even the way to describe it.
There have been multiple recounts and audits of Georgia's election, with Joe Biden winning each one by nearly 12,000 votes. Reporting outside Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
The pandemic has certainly changed how we host events, and that includes President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. The president-elect is urging people not to travel to D.C. and instead to watch the event on TV on January 20th. To help minimize crowds, members of the inaugural committee say that there will be virtual parades after Biden is sworn in. The event will feature performances in communities across the country, and those performers will be announced in the next 2 weeks. The new owners of a historic hotel say they're not giving up on their dream, the challenges they face as they reopen. And gyms across the state are back in business, but do you need to go? How some are making it easier to work out without leaving your home. There's a new option to help you find a job with a purpose. Passion Placement is described as a career matchmaking website. It offers recruiting, job posting, and consulting for purpose-driven companies and candidates. The site lets you search by keyword and by state. For the first time in 3 weeks, people are packing their gym bags. Fitness centers and health clubs are allowed to reopen today, just as people start to work on their New Year's resolutions.
We're really looking forward to showing that businesses can safely reopen.
Workers at gyms across the state are busy cleaning and disinfecting as they get ready to welcome back members. Some are making changes for those not ready to work out in person.
Implemented extra cleaning, more filtration systems. We just have launched a couple new digital options for members here. That digital membership includes options for virtual personal training. Before the latest shutdown, the gym was seeing only about 10% of normal capacity. While some people love making New Year's resolutions, one author says they might be putting too much pressure on us when we're already stressed out. NBC's Chris Pallone has that story.
The year we've just had, it's not surprising some people have high hopes for 2021.
I think every year is like always a year to try to better yourself in whatever way it may be, whether it be physically or mentally.
But parenting expert and author Sue Groner says when it comes to New Year's resolutions, less might be more this year.
You know, resolutions can really stress people out. So
Groner says setting a bunch of major goals can be a recipe for failure, not just for yourself, but for loved ones too.
If we have so many expectations that we put on ourselves that we can't meet, we're going to get frustrated and angry and feel badly about ourselves.
Instead, Groner suggests incorporating small positive changes into your life.
I think like baby steps and little modifications are a better way to go because it doesn't put that much pressure on yourself. And then you don't feel like a loser if you don't do it.
My only resolution for the new year is just be kind.
A good idea, with so many people feeling glum because they didn't spend their lockdown writing a novel or learning a new language. Groner says it's okay to acknowledge we're doing the best we can.
Take a little time for yourself, take some deep breaths, and just acknowledge that things are the way they are. They're out of your control, and you can handle it.
So farewell 2020. Here's hoping 2021 is better. No pressure, of course. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
We were amazed and excited. It's so rare.
Local high school students discover their classmate has a rare gift. We'll tell you what it is and how it's being used to teach an important lesson.
Drizzle and flurries over the next couple of days. I'm tracking where that drizzle could cause some icy patches later tonight.
One Baldwin Whitehall special needs student has a unique gift that puts her in tune with singers the likes of Bing Crosby and Mariah Carey. Channel 11 Morning News anchor Catherine Ametta explains why and how she's teaching her community an important lesson.
21-year-old Deja Massey isn't like other people her age. At just 3 years old, doctors diagnosed her with autism.
The standard way of doing things isn't always functional for them.
At times, it's been a struggle. But last year, Deja's mother, Heather, learned something truly remarkable. Her daughter has perfect pitch.
D sharp.
D sharp, you got it.
It's so rare that just 1 in 10,000 people have it, including famous musicians like Mozart, Bing Crosby, and Mariah Carey. Deja can hear any note of music, immediately identify it, and then recreate it on demand.
G sharp. G sharp. Very good, Deja. Yep. Very good. How do you think you learned how to do that?
It's like, it's hard to try to know what the note is.
Yeah. You know, you have a special ability that very, very few people on Earth have.
But Deja's talent wasn't actually known to Baldwin High School choir music teacher Chris Tranter. Another student stumbled upon it in their partner music class, a class where special needs students partner up with regular education students and work on life skills using music.
They were just sitting there playing through a couple of songs together. And at some point, the student said, Deja, what note am I playing? And she was able to say it. Knowing how rare that is and what a coveted skill that would be was pretty exciting.
Exciting, but not a complete surprise to Heather. She noticed her singing in the car led Deja to be uncomfortable.
She holds her ears. It really bothers her. And then she'll try to correct you on your tone or your note and help you.
Helping along with teaching other students it's okay to be unique. A life lesson that some people say is the greatest gift we can give our future generation.
Special needs doesn't mean that they can't do everything you can do, but it means that they just do things differently and they have a different set of skills than what we have.
Catherine Amenta, Channel 11 News.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
A lot of cloud cover on this Monday afternoon, something we've been used to the last several days and something we're going to have to continue to be used to as we head through the middle of the week. Live look at our PennDOT cameras right now. This is I-79 at Camp Horn Road. Notice the cloud cover, so no shadows. Certainly was no sun glare for the morning commute this morning, and most areas will not have much, if any, sunset later this afternoon. Good news is roadways mainly dry. This is I-79 Kerwin Heights right now. And if you look at Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar, we do have some spits of some flurries, even a little pink mixing in. So there's a little drizzle mixing in with some of this from time to time. That's what that pink shading is. We're not talking freezing rain or sleet right now. Temperature's about 35, 36 degrees. But what you are getting, a couple raindrops mixing in with the snowflakes. So the rest of the afternoon today, patchy drizzle, a couple of snow flurries, and we will continue that into the night tonight. Weather in a word today, cloudy. Next several days, cloud cover is going to continue to be abundant. So if you can catch a quick glimmer of sunshine, as I did at my house yesterday afternoon, enjoy it because it won't last very long. Visible satellite, this cloud deck is thick all the way back to about Dayton before it breaks up, and it continues to go back through Indiana and Illinois as well. So other than a quick glimmer of brighter sky, there won't be much. The good news is daylight hours generally dry. If we go sunrise to sunset, completely dry, get about 9 dry hours. Well, today 8, some patchy drizzle, a couple flurries. Tomorrow maybe a snow shower or 2, so 7 dry hours. Then Wednesday and Thursday right now do look dry. Current temperatures very uniform all across the area. 35, a very common number right now. 33 in Franklin, 37 currently in Morgantown. Look up in Butler right now, the wind chill 32. So very light breeze, a little more noticeable in the mountains where it feels like 27 in Somerset. Forecast rest of the day today, the heavier coat. Watch out for a couple flurries or a speck or two of drizzle, nothing that's going to cause any problems. Tonight, there will be some patches of freezing drizzle. Again, it's going to be very light, very scattered, but keep in mind if you do get some freezing drizzle with the temperature going below 32 degrees, that will allow for a couple icy patches to develop, especially bridges and overpasses. Don't forget to check back with Chief Meteorologist Stephen Cropper tonight at 5 and 6 as he pinpoints those areas most likely to see that freezing drizzle tonight. Tomorrow, cloudy, a couple of light snow showers, but not much. Notice Storm Tracker, fairly quiet. We'll get some snow flurries and light snow showers to develop during the afternoon and into the evening, but other than a coating to a ½ inch in the mountains, it won't amount to much of anything. 5-day forecast with your weekend always in view. More gloom and doom on Wednesday, cloudy and 37 degrees. Thursday might get a peak of sunshine, 39 for the high temperature Thursday. Friday, mostly cloudy, 39. And we're chilly right through the weekend. See some sun breakout for Saturday, but temperatures backtick this weekend, 35 on Saturday and 35 for the high temperature on Sunday.
All right, thanks, Scott. Well, a farm wants your real Christmas trees. Their goal is to help cut down on waste and to feed their animals. Birch Creek Farmery is located on State Line Road in Jefferson Township in Washington County. If you live nearby, you can drop off your tree for free. And the farm is also scheduling pickups in Pittsburgh. They'll pick up your tree for $5 starting Sunday through the 16th. The farm says trees are good snacks for sheep and goats. We have a link to their website on WPXI.com. Now here's local steals and deals.
Did you know that there is a break-in, a burglary in this country every 13 seconds? I didn't know that. Did you know that most of those are in apartments? I didn't know that. There's a gentleman who was living in Atlanta and wanted to protect his family and realized that there was nothing existing. He actually had to make something. I am so excited to introduce to you today the inventor, James.
Hi, thanks for having me on the show. I had recently relocated to the Atlanta area and brought my family, and I wanted that added level of security that video doorbells offer. And at apartments, you can't mount those video doorbells outside of your apartment. And so it was really bothering me. So I started sketching some ideas on a napkin, and the light bulb came on. I started thinking of ideas and started sketching some ideas and partnered up with a great person, and we created the doorbell board. Originally, I really just wanted to protect my family and get that added level of security. But after the project began evolving, we realized that we could actually protect an entire apartment complex, and then it even evolved into college dorms and on and on. You could take the doorbell board with you when you travel. So if you could just imagine taking this with you when you visit hotels, your Airbnb, there's nothing like knowing and having that security. There's just so many ways that this product could be used to keep people safe. And we're very grateful to Local Steals and Deals for helping us get this product off the ground.
We love to support small business. We love to find amazing inventions, and we love to bring you things that are really going to make a difference in your life. This is the doorbell boa. So when the door is open, you're going to put this on. Your door just goes right in here. You close it from the inside, and let me tell you, this thing is solid. Right now, the doorbell boa is 20% off on localsteals.com. Definitely get yours.
A historic hotel and bar has new owners who are facing some new challenges because of the pandemic. The Chambers Hotel in Apollo dates back to 1889. It reopened for business in November for about a month before facing COVID-related shutdowns mandated by the state. Over the weekend, we talked to the owners, Jennifer and Wally, and they're pushing forward with reopening today.
In the beginning, we told each other, no matter how hard it gets through the process, we're not going to give up. With the proper social distancing and the sanitizing that we do here, I feel like it is a safe place here.
The hotel is currently renting out rooms to help make ends meet while dining and capacity restrictions remain in place. 2020 is behind us, but for some major retailers, 2021 might be just as rough. USA Today released its list of endangered retailers. JCPenney tops the list. The department store closed locations, including some locally, after filing bankruptcy last year. It emerged from bankruptcy last month, but more locations could close in 2021. Sears, Kmart, and Rite Aid also made the list. Experts say the companies are now just a shadow of their former selves. Penn State researchers are heading a team investigating a radio signal possibly sent from a neighboring star. That star is normally invisible to the naked eye from Earth, but it is the closest solar system to us. That signal was first detected in 2019. Researchers say so far the signal cannot be explained. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station celebrated the new year, not with champagne, but with radishes. They were the first vegetables grown in space, besides leafy greens. The space radishes were grown from seeds over the past 27 days. That's Channel 11 News for noon. Our next newscast is tonight at 5. Thanks for watching and have a great day.